All right, this is a cool one. This is a hashtag learn the song. For those of you that aren't familiar with this channel, this is not a note for note breakdown like you'll find other places on Facebook and YouTube and everywhere. This is a conceptual approach of playing popular tunes if you were in a cover band or just jamming with your buddies doing whatever, and you're trying to figure out the key takeaways of the song, what makes the song what it is, and different parts you can play if you're playing with lots of different instruments, right? So let's jump right in. Now this song, Tennessee Whiskey, done most recently by Chris Stapleton, is just an amazing song. Now I first heard the George Jones version of this, but I just love these simple country songs where the band is just supporting a killer lead vocalist who just paints a singular picture with great delivery, great lines. This is just a quintessential just country ballad that just crushes it, right? And on a personal note, this is like some of my favorite kind of music. If I could have like an end of the world party, I'd be at home with friends and family, with fire, with a cocktail, listening to old George Jones records. So, I mean, like I'm excited about this one. This is a lot of fun to learn. Anyhow, let's talk about the form of the song. Now, this is a classic 12/8 country shuffle, like country kind of thing. So 12/8 means it's 12 eighth notes. So basically, what you're going to be doing is you're going to keep that shuffle feel like you kind of have in blues, right? That triplet bass, but it's 12. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you're doing kick and snare on drums to give you a bearing, that's kick, snare, kick, snare, right? That's your basic feel. And you'll see people that play this tune kind of rock back and forth like that. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You can kind of feel it in 6 too, but it's in 12. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that shuffle triplet kind of groove, right? What triplets are is 3 beats in the space of 1, right? So triplet, triplet, triplet. But you leave out the middle one. Triplet, 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 trip. So each one of those, and you do 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's your basic feel. And you represent that when you're strumming, right? It's the... So it's just down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, but da 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 da. So that's the first basic part. If you're playing one guitar, that's going to be your basic part. It's just, you know, you're strumming an acoustic, ba ba da 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 da, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Now we're going to go through the other 3 parts, but real quick, there's only 2 chords to this song. It is A major and B minor. That's it. And at the very end, when it goes back to A, it does a little suspension. So that's like A sus, and basically what you're going to do is you can grab a piece of B minor. You can look at it that way. You can add the D and the B and go back to A. Or you can do triads, you're adding the F sharp and D with the A, D triad over the A, it's that little sus4 thing. Either way, you can alternate back and forth. But that is the whole song, which is glorious, right? It's great that it's just 2 chords. So it's A is home, and the B minor is obviously a sad sound, and you're going to focus on that when you're doing your lead playing and you're singing and so on and so forth. But it's kind of like a suspension of the A, a suspension of the resolution, and then it just goes back to A. And that's it. Verse, chorus, same form throughout. Now let's talk about a couple other rhythm parts that you would typically find in a ballad like this. So there's 4. The first one I already showed you, right? The other 3, first one would be straight arpeggiating, right? So you would go, if you're on A, so all I did there was I played an A major chord and a B minor chord, went up and down the strings. That's what's called an arpeggio, where you play the notes of a chord one at a time in scale form, and just did the form that way. And again, tried to match that 12/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you'd be matching the hi-hat on the drums, right? That's your basic takeaway. Another one that you're going to get is your quintessential horn part. So now all you're basically going to be doing there is in the spaces, right? After the lightning strikes of, that are going to come kind of with the snare, you're going to be adding little dyads, little pieces of chords, and you go up usually 1 degree in the scale to the piece of the next chord in this key, which would be A major, and back. So for example, over the A, I'm playing the C sharp, the 3rd in A, and the actual A note, that's your root, and I'm going up to a piece of that B minor chord. Okay, I'm playing that D and that B, so that's the minor 3rd and the root of 2 chord, which is B minor. When I'm over the minor chord, over the B, I'll slide up to a piece, that's E and C sharp, to a piece of C sharp minor, because that's the next chord in this key. That's the 3 chord in the key of A major, and bring it back down. So now you can do this anywhere, right? You can do it anywhere where you have little pieces of chords. And if you're not familiar with how to find these, I have tons of lessons on these over at GuitarGate, where we talk about where the triads are, where the dyads are. But that's the basic part of it, right? You're finding a little horn part to fit in there. Last very common one, and my personal favorite, is what I call the lightning strikes. Because it's a slow 12/8 groove, boom, your snare is basically going to be on 4 and 10. And the more you accentuate that, you make that snare pop, you're not going to be stepping on any other instrumentation, because that is the land of the snare. And I kind of did this on the intro. Now you can do this upstrokes, downstrokes, with the slap if you're doing the chicken picking hybrid thing. But the point is that maybe you get a piece of the bass note, maybe you don't. But you're hanging back and you're locking in the snare on 4 and 10, still counting in that shuffle, in that 12/8 thing, trying to get those lightning strikes. Now, let's go on to, now that we've gotten the rhythm and the form down, let's go on to the melody. So the harmony, again, is key of A major, and then it goes to B minor, and that's it. The B minor is very much a suspension of the A. And when we're trying to improvise over this, or sing, the key to this song, the key of what makes it great, because of its simplicity, is given to us right in the opening line. It's the C sharp. Typically, I shouldn't say typically, but commonly, when a lick enters a tune like this, or when you're resolving that as a sound of almost like a turnaround, you'd hit the root of the chord that you're going to. But it's not, it's the major third, it's the, and that is a C sharp note, but that is what makes this song pop. That's the sound of this song. This song is not a story. The melody is not a story of the A. It's all about that C sharp. So you'll hear it when Chris comes in singing. I spent my nights in the bar room. He doesn't come on the A. He comes in on the C sharp. And then quickly, when it goes to the B minor, you'll see that the focus turns into all about B. And then it finally resolves and focuses on that A when it goes back from the B minor. So I can't stress this enough. Let me make sure I'm clear here. The C sharp, leading with the C sharp, the major third, coming in on that C sharp is really what sets the tone of the melody. When it goes over to the B, right, you're going to be focusing not on the minor third of B, not on the D. That works when you're in the rhythm guitar playing, when you're doing the, but when you're singing the actual melody, it never really finds a home, It's not really a story about that D. It's very much a still. You're suspending that A. That's the function of this in this song. It's suspending that A. So hanging on that B is that ninth of that A, right? It's that common. Maybe going up to that C sharp. That D never really seems at home. And then finally resolving that suspension back to the A. So you can play through this whole tune thinking A major pentatonic because you can focus on the C sharp. You can focus, when you're over that first part of A. You can focus on the B's when, playing over B minor, because you never really, I'm not saying you can't play the D, because that'd be ridiculous. You can play anything. If it sounds good, it's good. But when you do that, it's just, to me, it never really sounds like it fits. So when you're taking leads over this and improvising, I implore you, keep it simple. A major pentatonic, when you're trying to hammer out those melodies, you're trying to sound like Chris singing, start with C sharp. It's really more of a story about C sharp than it is about A, which is what makes the song so great. So I'm going to just play a little bit for you. And again, if you like this series, subscribe. Please tell your friends and leave in the comments songs that you would like to see. And I'll do my best to get them out for you. So enjoy this tune, and I just love it. It's great. Here we go.